Our next lesson is surface area of prisms and cylinders. A lot like chapter 10, this chapter has to deal with a lot of formulas. So we're going to talk about prisms and cylinders. Prisms are something that you would think about like your cereal box. Cylinder would be like your pop can. So first, the formulas for prisms. Again, prisms are going to be like a box shape. It could be a regular polygon, like a pentagon prism, meaning that the bottom and top are both shaped like a pentagon, but all the sides around are going to be rectangles. So two things that we have here. We have a lateral area and surface area. Lateral area is going to be all the side lengths. So this, and this. Be the area of just everything on the side of the shape. The surface area combines the lateral area plus the two bases. Bases are the two things that would be the bottom and the top of the shape. So when I have the surface area, it would be this formula right here. And the lateral area is the perimeter of the base times the height. So if I look at the shape below, what is the surface area of the prism? Well, first I'm going to look at the lateral area. If I look at this, there would be a rectangle base right here. So first I want to figure out what the lateral area is, and that's going to be my perimeter. So that means this is going to be 4 and this is going to be 10 because opposite sides are congruent. So my perimeter here is going to be 28, and my height here is 5. So that's going to be equal to 140 centimeters squared, because area is always squared. Now if I want to find the surface area, surface area is going to be my lateral area, which is that, plus 2 times the area of my base, because I have a base on bottom and I have a base on top, so that's why the 2 is there. So it'd be 10 times 4, which is 40. So my total surface area is going to be 140 plus 80, which is equal to 220 centimeters squared. I want you to find the surface area by yourself right now. You should have gotten 94 centimeters squared. Again, the perimeter is going to be 4 plus 3 plus 4 plus 3. So you have to be careful when you're finding the lateral area. You need the perimeter of the base. Now here's a prism that is not like a box. However, my two bases are going to be these two trapezoids right here. So first I'm going to find my lateral area. My lateral area is going to be my perimeter of my base. The shape that repeats on both top and bottom, that's your base. My perimeter would be 18.9. And then I times that by my height. My height is going to be the long length across, so it's going to be times 12. So the lateral area would be 226.8, and I don't have units here, so it would be units squared. Now when I'm looking at my surface area is my lateral area, 226.8, plus 2 times the area of my base. So if you remember correctly, the area of a trapezoid is going to be 1/2 times my height times B1 plus B2. So in this case, it would be 1/2. My height is always going to be straight up and down, so this would be my height, the 3. 3 times my base would be 2.8 plus 8.1. So this would be equal to 16.35. So I'm going to fill that in right here because that would be the area of my two bases. And then my final answer would be surface area is going to be equal to 259.5 units squared. I want you to solve the surface area of this prism by yourself. Again, this would be your base right here, so you have to figure out the perimeter of that, times it by your height, and then figure out what the area of that is and times it by 2. So you should have got 268.9 inches squared. First thing when you're looking at a picture, you have to be very careful about where you're labeling. So if you look at my diagram, I put this as 7, that means this length is also 7. This length is 10, so this length is also 10. That's going to help me figure out what my perimeter is. Because my perimeter of my base would be 10 plus 9 plus 8. That's where the 20, or plus 7. That's where the 26 comes in. 10 plus 9 plus 7 right here. Times that by my height is 8. That's my lateral area. Then I had to figure out what the area of the base was. So if you look at my picture, I found out where my 90 degrees was. That's going to give me my base and height. So it's going to be 1/2 times my 7 times 8.7, because that's the height of my triangle, and that's where I get the 30.45. So I have my lateral area plus my area of my two bases, and that's where I get the 268.9. Now we have the lateral and surface area of a cylinder. So it's the same concept. Lateral area is still going to be the area around the shape, and then the surface area will be the lateral area plus the two bases. So here are the two different equations that you have here. So the lateral area is going to be 2 pi r times your height. This is your circumference. So it's your circumference of your circle, or your perimeter, times the height. So same thing. And then it's your lateral area plus two bases. Or else this would be the total equation. 2 pi r times h plus 2 pi r squared. This is your lateral area, and this would be your two bases. So this says the radius of the base of a cylinder is 6 centimeters, and its height is 15. What is the surface area of in pi units? So I'm just going to use this equation right here. So I'm going to plug in what I know. So surface area is going to be equal to 2 pi, and then I have an r here. So r, it's telling me, is 6, times my height here is 15, plus 2 pi, and then I have my r squared. Remember, you want to leave it in pi units. So first I want to do 2 times 6 times 15. I also want to do 2 times 6 squared. And you should have gotten 108 pi and 72 pi. Again, you don't multiply by pi because I'm looking for pi units. And now since they have both the same units, I can combine these. So I can combine what's 180 plus 72, because this is the same thing as having 180x plus 72x, which would give me 252 pi centimeters squared. So it would be this last answer right down here. Right now I want you to pause the video. Yes, pause the video and attempt this problem all by yourself. You should have gotten 80 pi inches squared or 251.2 inches squared. In the directions, if it does not say leave in pi units or round to the nearest tenth, then you can pick either way. However, if it says leave in pi units, you would have to have this answer. Or if it says round to the nearest tenth, you would have to have this answer. So you have to be careful. So here I have a word problem. A soup can is 4.5 inches high. So if I were to draw a soup can here, if possible, something like that. So it's going to be 4.5 inches high, and the diameter, so straight across, will be 3 inches. How much paper is needed just to make a label? So now you have to be careful about this problem, because it's not saying find the whole surface area. The whole surface area would cover the top and bottom. So I don't want to have the top and bottom. So if you look back at your notes, you should have this formula already written down. So that's the whole surface area. Now, this is the area of both the top and bottom. So I don't want to include that. So right now, I just want to use this formula to figure out what the label should be without overlapping. So it'd be 2 times pi. My r here is going to be half my diameter. My whole length across is 3. So half my diameter is 1.5 times my height is 4.5. And if you plug that into your calculator, you should get 42.39 inches squared. So that's how big of paper you need to make the label of the soup can. And when we're using a word problem, you typically do not have it in pi units. Make sure you have all your formulas throughout the video and good notes for each type of problem. Have a great day.